I do believe it is ET tech, but I will not say it definitely 100%. I will leave a 1% open for can it be terrestrial technology. People don't want to know. It's very easy to keep a secret nobody wants to know. And that's pretty much where we are. So it has to be done in a smart way. It really does. You can't just throw it out there and go, let's have catastrophic disclosure. I see that a lot. There's always, oh, it's a new whistleblower. You get it all excited. It's going to happen. And then, oh, no, it's not going to happen. And then time passes on. And, it's going to be like that for at least, I don't know. This is just my prediction. I have no inside information. Let's say like in 5-6 years, it's really going to start, waking up people.
Greetings. Once again, I'm talking in English, which means interview time. And UFOs or UAPs are often attributed just to USA. But actually, I would dare to say that almost every European country has its mind-twisting UFO cases. That way it goes for Czech Republic, and the same way, I'm sure, goes for Norway. And that's something we will talk about today. And it is my honor that I can introduce to you all Renate, leader of organization UFO-Norway. Hello, Renate. Can you hear me? How's it going today?
Hello, Jan. I can hear you very well. I'm doing very fine, thank you. Although I do feel a bit of a sore throat, getting a cold or something. But other than that, I'm fine. So I might be coughing a little bit, but you can't get infected over the screens, I guess.
Yeah, don't worry about that. So I'm very curious about the organization you have created because I feel that each of European country don't really know about each of others UFO cases and so on. I mean, we know about Britain, we know about maybe some cases in the bigger countries, but for instance, I doubt that other countries know some Czech UFO case. So how's it going in Norway in this kind of matter?
Yeah, well, we do have some interesting cases, of course, and we do also have reports coming in. We have about how much was it? About 2 reports coming in each week in Norway, but of course there are the quality of the observations are of course very different. They vary a lot. They can go from just being light in the sky and have a very natural cause. So and the organization that I am a leader of, we do have a report system where you can go on our website and you can report a sighting. So when I calculated, I saw approximately 2 a week through the year. Yeah. So we have people looking into it and giving feedback on what they've seen. And often it has a natural cause, or often it's lack of data, of course, as it is for many other observations. So my organization is not the one, I did not establish this organization. It was established when I was not even born. It was actually in the 70s. And then the organization has changed name and it has changed location. So there's been a lot of different ways this organization has been big or small, or a cooperation of more organizations, and further on. I kind of guess like in the 80s or something, it kind of accumulated to this organization, and then it changed name to NUFOS, Norwegian UFO Organization, and then last year we changed it back to UFO-Norway. So sometimes you will see this NUFOS hanging like in the internet because it's still not changed. It's a process. So we've been around for over 40 years, but I've just been a leader for 7 months or so. So I'm pretty new to that. We do have one in the board who's been with us for, I think, I don't know, maybe 20 years, but he has a lot of knowledge on old cases. So he's still in the board. So we are only 5 people in the board. But we do have a couple of other people who also help with the reporting central and other things. So we do have a Facebook page. On the Facebook page, we have over 2,000 members. So we would want every one of those to be paying members. Unfortunately, not all of them are paying members, but you know, it's not a price to be on Facebook. So, but we have around 300 paying members, and we also give out a magazine 4 times a year, where we put in the most interesting cases that we have received through our reporting central, or other things that are happening in the United States or other countries around the world to give people information. You know, you'd think that the English language would not be a barrier, but we see that actually in some of the older generations that the language is a barrier, so that they're not on. They don't follow it on X or other English channels. So some people, the older generation, are reliant on our organizations to get them to get the newest information. And of course, we are on X as well. And yeah.
And the organization is just a public domain, or are you connected to some scientist or government, or are you just the people who are into it, how to say, are interested and not really supported by other institutions?
No, we're a standalone organization. We would want to have cooperation, of course, with both politicians and scientists and so forth. And we would also want to have, what do you call it, financial support from the government. I know there's been people have tried that previously, but we haven't really succeeded. But that's something we're looking into, and we want to see if we can cooperate with other people or other organizations as well. So it's just a matter of finding the right buttons to push and allocating enough time to make that happen. But it has been an organization that has been a standalone organization for a long time. I think I could be wrong, but I think we're the only UFO organization in Norway. There might be some smaller organization that's local that I'm unfortunately not aware of, but I think we're the only organization in Norway.
And I wonder, what kind of sightings do you usually have? I noticed that in Norway, I didn't know that before today, there are no nuclear plants. So in this kind of matter, it is a bit different, because sometimes UFOs are attracted to these. And in Czech Republic, we actually have 2 of them. So is it more sightings with the sea or at the mountains or crop circles, or what do you report most, or what is typical for UFOs in Norway maybe?
The most common, of course, is lights in the sky that move erratically. Yeah. So there could also be satellites that people report, but that is the most common one. But of course, we do have sightings where people see actual craft and moving around in the sky. That's, you can't say that it's something else, because it's apparent that it's a craft, but they're not very common. But it's an interesting question. I would, we should have make a statistics on that, actually, to see how much and categorize them. It's a good, yeah, we should do that. So far we haven't done that, but it's mostly lights in the sky. We do not have crop circles. I cannot say that we have that. Someone might arrest me and say, no, we do have one crop circle happening at, you know, I don't know, 10 years ago. I don't know, but it's not common. I've never heard of it myself. So, but I don't study the crop circle phenomena as much in detail either. So someone else has to say that. Yeah.
For us, I guess you are right. Yeah, most common are some lights in the sky, and often people just suddenly write me, hey, I saw this on the video, what could it be? And often it's really kind of impossible to say because they were the ones who saw it and they were the ones to record it. They know the most information.
I mean, if you zoom in on the brightest star in the night sky, you can say it looks like a UFO, because when you look at the camera, it kind of flickers and it looks like it moves, and it's like, yeah, it could be anything. But we do not have any nuclear weapons or nuclear facilities, so yeah. There's talk about getting them actually in nearby where I live, so we'll see. But that's going to take another 10, 15 years before that's going to happen. So
Yeah.
not atom bombs, but nuclear power plants. We'll see.
Yeah. And so you have more different, I guess, perspective. And I heard you tell that there are some even USOs, the underwater UFOs. What is your experience with that? We obviously don't have any experience here in Czech Republic. So what is that like to hear a report about it? What people say, or is it just military personnel talking about it?
USOs are not very commonly reported at all, because that's to report a USO, I think then people would have to watch it come out of the ocean. And I haven't heard of a story yet where someone has seen that. It's probably happened. I'm just not very good at all the history of different reportings, but to actually see something on the water and see it on radar, that would have to be, I guess, military equipment or, yeah, we don't have that. There's this one story that's circulating that maybe it was a USO, but I don't know. It might as well have been a Russian submarine, but they kind of chased it inside this fjord and it disappeared. That's what they say. But that could have been a Russian sub, and maybe they just let it out because they didn't want the hassle with the diplomats and with all the political, troubles it would have been. Who knows? So, but it's not a big thing, USOs. You would think so because we have a long coastline. But we have some, we have some reports of these Scandinavian ghost rockets, and some of those landed on water or crashed on water. We don't really know. So there's a lot of there was a period in the 40s where a lot of were reported around water and going into the water. Me personally, I don't think they necessarily crashed. I just think they went under and became USOs. But we would see them going into the water. Yeah.
And what does your organization, what your group is working on mostly? Are you mostly just trying to gather data and analyze them? Or are you also working in the fields? Are you doing CE5 or any of these things?
Mostly we work with a magazine, and we work on the reports that come in. And of course, we have some projects that we want to execute, but we're all just people who have normal lives and normal jobs and families, so we just don't really have enough time to do all the things we want to do. So we keep joking about how we're all trying to win the lottery, so that when we win the lottery, we would donate money and we could be working with this full time. But it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. But that's mostly what we do. CE5, we do not do that. Maybe someone else. I know there's been people who have done that, but it's not something that our organization organizes or puts up events or anything like that. No, we do not. Although I know that someone has experience with that. Myself, I do not, but I know that others have experienced it.
And I wonder, for what kind of proof are you as a group trying to find? Some like videos or some other data? Because, for instance, here, actually CE5 is quite popular in the UFO community in Czech Republic. We do CE5 at least once per year, and it's always really nice. I mean, the night under the sky is it's just so beautiful to see it. So what is your aim to get? Like maybe even like, what is the goal for your organization? Maybe is the question.
Yeah, our goal is mostly just be there for the public, I guess, to try and answer the questions that the public has. To be honest, I think that the government should have this public support, because there's a lot of people who see it. So somebody should be on the other line who's actually in the government and say, okay, this is what it is. Yeah, so that's what we do. And we try to, of course, we want to find out what it is, and we want to spread information about it. We want to help people understand. But also we want to see if we can do something, in the political sphere. Maybe we can have some coalitions with the scientists, see if we can have a collaboration. So there's a lot of angles and a lot of things that we can do. We just really have to find the time and to make it more tangible. So, but mostly we're an information group. And also one of the members, board members, he is very interested in in categorizing and having these data, a storage of data of reports. So there's a lot of work going on to get all these reports and getting them categorized and putting them in years, and so that you can search for them. So, and also there's a collaboration with UFO Sweden, because they have the biggest filing system in electronic and also in maps, I think, or in folders. So I know there's cooperation with that. So that's something that one of the board members has a lot of passion for, getting all of these information, and getting all the information that we have, and so that everyone can search and find it. And of course, if there's a big sighting, we would absolutely go out into the field. Unfortunately, most of our reporting does not leave any trace or anything for us to investigate. You know, if someone sees lights in the sky, that's what it is. We can't really do any field work on that. But if something lands, of course, we would do the field work and we would go to the sites. But they're few and far between, unfortunately. So there's not a lot of that going on. We're only 5 million people in Norway, 4.5 and 5 million people in Norway. So we're a small population. We're not that our country is not that large. And also I calculated that we're only, 14 people per square kilometer. Yeah. So there's a lot of areas and a lot of not eyes looking at the skies, because there's a lot of vast, areas of no one. So we're not very densely populated, and I guess that's also part of why maybe we don't see more than maybe we could. Yeah. We would want more action, absolutely, but we can't fake it, right? You can't fake it till you make it when the UFO sightings.
Yeah. And do you also get some reports of really close encounters, that something lands down and somebody comes out, or some contact with beings, whether it is whichever looking being, or ET or NHI, right? I just kind of realized that sometimes people categorize ET beings into Greys and Nordic. So Nordics, are there Nordic people? Is it you, or is it some UFO phenomenon from your country?
There has been sightings, of course, of people seeing, entities in crafts. But there's not a huge mass of people who report sightings of craft on the ground and seeing entities. That's rare. I have one story I can tell, but I don't have any proof about it. It's just a story. I like the story. It's kind of corny, but I have heard stories about it, but I've also heard they're not like really good, like solid cases. There's mostly, people seeing things and experiencing things alone. Like you have abduction cases and that kind of thing, where you have something in a craft and coming out, and a lot of people are seeing it simultaneously. No, it's it's not really that much. And I also think that if there are abductions happening, I think that maybe they have their own group that's connected to abductions. We were actually talking about this on our last meeting, that we should investigate and see if we could get in contact with them. But I'm not sure if it actually exists. But there's not a lot of information telling us in our organization that I've seen and I've contacted, I've been abducted and such. I think maybe because, maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe it doesn't happen a lot, or maybe it's stigma. I don't have the answer to that. But it's not like in America where you hear it a lot. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen in Norway. I'm saying people are not very vocal about it, and people are just not vocal about the UFO topic at all in Norway. So there's a lot of stigma. And of course, if people experience that, I would think that they would keep them to themselves. I mostly. I don't think would be a lot of support. I don't think they would know where to go, to be honest.
I mean, we had an organization here in Czech Republic called Projekt Záře. I guess it could be translated as Project Glow or something like that. And that project was looking into I guess they had quite similar approach as you. And for instance, one of my friends who was part of the group, he was trying to get to talk to the abductees and so on. And the leader of the UFO group was not happy about it. And then he had some problems and they didn't really want to, they just wanted to focus on one part of UFO, which I guess is fine. I mean, the UFO topic is quite vast, so why not to have more groups to look into different types of things that happen? And yeah, so I guess it is quite stigmatized, but I mean, I know that his work, he is called Karel Rashin. He, when he was talking to the abductees, he told me that it really helped the people that they were able to tell it to someone, that they kind of put it away from their hearts, or how to say it. And they also had a psychotherapist who helped them a bit to get away the stress and the trauma. So even though they didn't validate the things, if it was just something mental or something real, it was still nice that he gathered some stories. And actually, I guess the biggest nice thing is that he helped the people who were kind of struggling with this issue, because it is very stigmatized.
Yeah, I guess, to be honest, I don't think I would try CE5, because I'm not quite sure I would want to. I don't know what's going to happen, right? So that's, I mean, people, do it if you want and if you wish, but I'm kind of skeptical because I don't know what you're attracting if there's actually something to it. So, yeah.
The CE5 protocols, they have some, like, how to say, there are intentions what you want, there are like protections against what you don't want, and so on. It's kind of, I know it is a bit esoterical and so on, but for those who believe, they kind of set the boundaries against what they don't want. So, I mean, from our perspective, it is fine, but I get it that it's not for everyone. So it's totally fine. Okay, so and to one of the last questions, or maybe the last one, how do you see the future of this topic and what is happening now? So we will have soon another UAP hearing in the November. Also, right now, Lou Elizondo is a very hot topic because of his new book. And it seems many new things will happen soon, until the end of the year or next year. So how are you optimistic? How's it going in this future, you think?
It's going to take a lot of years still before we can have any sort of confirmation from anyone that, yes, indeed, we see some kind of technology that's in the skies that we cannot identify, or we don't know about, we don't know how it works. Is there a small chance that this is all just super technology from United States or China or Iran or South Korea, North Korea? Well, at least not North Korea. Yes, there's always a small chance. So let me just put that out there. I will go, ET, yes, I do believe it is ET tech, but I will not say it definitely 100%. I will leave a 1% open for, can it be terrestrial technology? I don't know, but most likely ET. But if that is the truth, it will take many years still before that will be something that governments will tell. Because sometimes I think that us in the UFO community, we have this information, we know so much. For us, it's kind of, not mundane in a way, right? It's just like, yeah, whatever. And we falsely believe that most people would react the same way. And I don't believe so. I believe that it's easy to sit home in our comfy sofa watching television going, yeah, whatever, when's the invasion coming, and nobody cares, they're just going to go to work, that kind of stuff. Yes and no. It's very easy to say it when you feel very safe and comfortable. But when it actually happens, how will you react? I'm not so sure that even people in the UFO community, I think even someone in the UFO community would actually be kind of scared and kind of, oh shit, grasping the actual reality of this. And then saying that, people won't care because they have, bills to pay and all that kind of stuff. There's truth to it, but I don't think we should kind of, how do you say it, diminish or put down that fear. Or a lot of people will have real impacts on this. So it has to be done in a smart way. It really does. You can't just throw it out there and go, let's have catastrophic disclosure. I see that a lot. And then, yeah, no, it's cool to say it, in our community, but not in real life. Not in real life. There's a lot of people there. Think about all the children. Are we just going to throw it out there? And, how are we parents going to say to the children, oh, this actually happens? This is you got to be smart about it, because there's a lot of people in real lives at stake. Not at stake as in you're going to die, but at stake of, how you're mentally prepared and how you're going to react. But it's going to take a lot of years still. I think we're going to go forward, backward, but like the stock market, you're going to go up, down, but in the whole, you're going to go up. And it's going to take a while. And there's always, oh, it's a new whistleblower. You get it all excited. It's going to happen. And then, oh no, it's not going to happen. And then time passes on. And, it's going to be like that for at least, I don't know. This is just my prediction. I have no inside information. This is just my personal prediction. Let's say like in 5-6 years, it's really gonna start, waking up people. But I think it will have like 5 years before that's gonna happen. It's gonna be hearings, there's gonna be people talking. It's gonna take a while when you see people don't want to know. Honestly, people don't want to know. It's very easy to keep a secret nobody wants to know. And that's pretty much where we are. So I'm optimistic and pessimistic. In the way that I'm impatient. I want things to happen faster, but maybe it's a good thing that it goes slow, just because there's a lot of people in the world to take. You have to think about them as well, how the process is going to be. So the next hearing is going to be exciting. I wish I could go, but I'm busy. But then again, traveling all the way to America for maybe getting in, standing in line and maybe getting in, it's a huge risk to take. It's a lot of money. So I'm kind of glad that I'm busy in the military at the same time, because then I have like, no, you can't go. So it's a good thing for my wallet. It's going to be interesting. It's that Nancy, I don't remember all the names, but yeah, she's gonna be the leader. I haven't seen what hour it's going to be. We don't know who's going to come yet, who's going to be there, but I think Gallaudet is pretty safe. He's going to come, I think. Yeah. Lou has been hinting about something, but I'm not quite sure yet if he's going to be there or not. So yeah, but sometimes we're really optimistic about these hearings, and then we can, maybe it's just going to be about money. Maybe it's just going to be about, black money. Where's it going? Whose budget is it? So, but we'll know more when we know who's going to actually be there, who she's going to talk to. Of course, there's the documentary coming out. Is that going to push the needle? Hopefully, the program with Jane Fox.
Yeah.
And then there's the NDAA, which was out and now it's maybe in again. But that happened last year as well for 2024. It was out and then maybe in again. So I don't have a lot of hope for that though, unfortunately. So yeah. But I would just hope that more whistleblowers are gonna, grow as. It's not right to say grow a spine and go out and say something, because that's really tough on me to say. But I just wish more people could say what they knew and just do it in the way Lou does it, so that nobody has to go to jail unnecessary. That's just ridiculous. Everybody says just say everything, lay it out there, and I'm like, no, these people have real lives, real families. Why would they want to go to jail? Just do it in a smart way. Talk to people, find out how you can do it in a smart way. That would be perfect.
David Grush does the same thing, also kind of slowly, but very safely, step by step. And yeah, and to what you said that people want it fast, but actually they don't.
Yeah.
They wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
I kind of see the same thing in some, political things, that they're like, yeah, let's destroy the system, let's start over. But no, you don't like that. Like when the revolutions come in different countries, it's usually not nice at all, and the change can be long, and hearts are suddenly much more hard. So I guess the slow steps are ideal. So yeah.
But not 70 more years. But not 70 more years. It has to be before I die, at least, so I can experience it at least.
Yeah.
Or it must happen before. Oh, what's his name again? From Steve Bassett. It must happen before he dies. God, he's been in this business for so long. He does so much great work, So, and he's a bit older, so it must happen before he dies.
Yeah, I was also thinking about this, that some of the researchers are getting older, and some of them even already died, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? They still didn't get to the truth, or maybe when they die, they get to know it. So
Yeah, maybe.